Hey everybody, welcome back. Spooky Movie Month continues. I have 3 more movies here. Creepshow 2. This is the limited edition, 4K release. Though the packaging is virtually the same as the Blu-ray. I think that had a shinier image on the front. But other than that, I believe it's the same, and I'll set that aside. We also have Below, from the director of Pitch Black, a movie I don't really care for. I actually like the sequel a lot, Chronicles of Riddick. It's the same writer-director. I've never seen Riddick, so I can't really speak to that one, but anyways. So this is a submarine ghost story. This came out in the early aughts, I think, 2002. And we have High Tension. This is a French movie directed by j.a.s.m.r, I think that's his last name. He directed the Piranha remake. He did Crawl, which I really like Crawl. This movie with Kiefer Sutherland called Mirrors I haven't seen, probably some other stuff. But this is one of his earlier movies. And I don't know if it's his first feature film or not, but I'm pretty confident in saying it's one of his earlier movies at least. So, yeah, let's start with Creepshow because we have the fancy packaging here. We'll put these over here for now. And I don't think this is one of their super special limited editions because normally these come with a poster, and there's no poster here. There's no art cards or anything like that either. Not that I really care about that stuff, but typically I find if it's in the hard box, there's usually a poster, so I'm not sure what's different about this one. So this does come with this booklet. It's a fairly substantial booklet. And then, that's Stephen King. I think that's supposed to be George Romero, or maybe the director. George Romero didn't direct this one. So, he did write the screenplay, though. So this is pretty thick. I actually, again, haven't opened this. Typically when I do these videos, this is the first time I'm checking these things out, but this is decent quality stock paper, too. Okay, what's going on here? We have some additional comics. I should have looked at this earlier. Okay, so it looks like we have some Creepshow comics in here, which I was not anticipating at all. I was expecting like your traditional, liner notes for the movies. So, okay, that's really cool. There's a Creepshow comic in here. So I'll take a look at that probably right after this video. And I reversed the art. So this is I believe this is the theatrical art, and this would be the newly commissioned art, but this is a pretty cool cover here. I remember being a kid and, making my way through the horror section in Home Vision Video, and it's covers like this that really intrigued me about those movies. Really, oh man, what the hell's going on in this movie? And I haven't seen, this is the first time I watched it just recently. I'd seen Creepshow quite a few times, and I just never got around to watching Creepshow 2, no particular reason. And I remember when the Arrow put the Blu-ray out, I just didn't bother getting it, and then the 4K came out, and I was like, I'm just going to get this. I tend to like these movies, and I did really enjoy this. It's shorter than the first one by about 30 minutes, but there's also, I think the first one has 5 stories, maybe 4 stories. This one only has 3. It does have these like chapter breaks that are animated, and the animation is not great, but that's part of the charm. And yeah, George Romero didn't direct this. Who directed this? Michael Gornick. I think he actually shot the original. And Tom Savini shows up in this in makeup. He plays the creep. They make this crypt keeper character, and the makeup looks like they spent a lot of time on it, but he's briefly in it. They instead use the animation between the stories, and I actually would prefer they just kept Tom Savini and still kept some of the animation, but you would kind of expect that he had to show up in the middle at some point. I don't think he does, but all right, let's keep moving here. We may get back to this one because there's some cool stuff there. And then we got High Tension. So this is the second site release. I think this also I have too much stuff going on here. There we go. I think this also has a Lionsgate release. It's hard to keep up with Lionsgate because they are putting their movies on their website exclusively. They're the only seller, and I haven't purchased any. It's just not convenient, especially living in Canada. So easier to get the second site. This also came out a couple of years ago on second site, and I think the Lionsgate one just came out. I'm not even sure if it's out yet, but I know I saw some of the Lionsgate. And it had a really the steelbook was not what I expected. I'm sure there's some people out there that may have liked the art, but I didn't really care for it. Again, this is actually legible for the audience here. I don't know what's going on. I haven't touched my camera, so maybe I found a sweet spot. I'm not sure. A weekend away visiting parents becomes a living nightmare for Alex and her best friend Marie when a deranged killer breaks in, slaughters family members, and kidnaps Alex. Hiding to evade capture, Marie sets off in a white-knuckle pursuit to save her friend. And that's all true. And this, I saw this when it came out. Actually, I walked in right when it started. So there's a scene near the beginning where the deranged killer in question is enjoying the company of one of his earlier victims. It's like the first 3 minutes of the movie and kind of sets the tone for who this dude is. And there's a few minutes before that, though, there's a sequence with this character here, and I feel like there's I just watched this, so I feel like I should remember. I've seen them driving to the family farm, which I just missed. So when I walked in the first time I watched this, it was right during that scene. I'm like, what is this? My roommate at the time, she was huge into horror films, and a lot of the films I may not have watched from a horror perspective, I checked out because she had them and she was watching them. And I was really enjoying this movie. I was really surprised by how relentlessly violent it was. And then the last up to about the 75-minute mark, where you're on the impression this film is wrapping up. It's incredibly lean, mean movie, and you think it's over, and then it's not over. And I remember, I got more upset with movies back then in my early 20s, ranting about it. And I would not recommend this movie to anyone at the time. I felt the ending just betrayed so much goodwill, and I guess at this point I can recommend it just from an exercise in tension. But even watching the ending again, the last 15 minutes of this movie, I just don't know. I feel like you had such a effective movie that just could have wrapped up, and the simplicity would have been the unique aspect, and then they just kind of go in a different direction. So, it kind of is what it is, but it does have some really intense scenes in this movie. And if you're familiar with, the director also did, Hills Have Eyes remake. I actually really liked the remake too. I thought that was good. I saw that in a theater with my friend who doesn't like horror movies, and it was just one of those, hey, you want to see this? And the bad news for my friend, he didn't really know what he was getting into, and it ended up being one of the more extreme theater going experiences for him. So Okay, and finally we have Below. So as mentioned, director of Pitch Black. Who's that? David Twohy. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And what else did he do? He also did this movie with Charlie Sheen, The Arrival. I really like The Arrival. I would actually like to see that get a 4K release. Well, I should say I really like it. I haven't seen it in a long time. That came out like the mid-90s. But I remember checking Arrival out in the theater when I was, as soon as I got my license, I pretty much went to the movies like every week. And so I'd just watch, anything that looked interesting, and I'd read the write-up in the Sunday edition of the paper because they had like an audience section. And I went to go check out Arrival, and I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it. So he also directed that movie, and I want to say he's making like a new Riddick movie too. I can't really speak to that, but this movie I had not seen. It completely caught me off guard by how much I enjoyed it. I thought it was going to be a little hokier. Like, there's this movie called Ghost Ship. The first like 5 minutes of that movie are pretty entertaining, and then it's just like, okay, I've kind of seen this stuff before. And I was like, oh, Haunted Submarine, okay, that in itself as a concept is intriguing to me. But this was much better than I expected. It's when did this? Yeah, 2002. It's more serious, but not to a fault. Like, it does have some minor comic relief. I mean, it has Zach Galifianakis. Is that how you pronounce his name? And I didn't even realize that. I really haven't seen him in anything besides those like Between Two Ferns. I haven't even seen the Hangover movies. So the Two Ferns, when that was on, I got a kick out of it. And he plays like a very mild comic relief character, and that's just like he's cracking jokes all the time or anything like that. I was just surprised to see him. This game came out in 2002, and there's this bearded man that has these eyes that give a lot of amusing expressions, and I'm like, is that the Between Two Ferns guy? And most certainly was. But the transfer looked great. This wasn't an Atmos mix, but whatever the mix was on this, I think it's just a 5.1. Sounded phenomenal. It had a lot of really atmospheric moments to it, and the story itself is more intriguing than expected. Like, it's not a mystery that the sub is being haunted, like in the sense, these people experiencing certain types of visions or anything like that because of the depths of the sea. I don't know if that's possible. So it kind of like lays it out early that this is actually like a haunted ship, and then who's haunting the ship, and at least I would expect most audience members to be able to figure that out, but you're not 100% sure of the why just yet. And it has really good pacing to it. It is co-written by Darren Aronofsky, which really caught me off guard. He also produced this movie, so this would have been after Requiem, I think. I think about 2000 or 2001. And this movie just disappeared. Like, I don't even remember this getting a theatrical release. So I would check this out for sure. I mean, out of the 3 movies here, this would be my recommendation out of the 3 if I bring Creepshow back into the mix here. And Creepshow is a lot of fun, Creepshow 2, but if you haven't seen 1 or 2, I would certainly recommend the original Creepshow. High tension. I mean, it's just hard to get behind it with how it concludes. I'd still recommend it though, but Below was just a real pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting much from this movie at all. As much as I liked Arrival, I don't really care about Pitch Black. I do really like Chronicles of Riddick, but this was very, very enjoyable to watch. I'd recommend this to anyone that likes spooky movies or just like a interesting submarine mystery. So, okay, thanks for watching.